Make sure you don't speak.
It says it was.
Oh, people can hear. Hey everyone, how's it going? It's Jewel and Auret here.
Hello.
And welcome to the Essetino every other week mastermind, episode number 161.
Yes, welcome everybody to another live stream. We actually are supposed to be live streaming as well to our Creative Business Success Facebook group, but it looks like it's not streaming in there. So I'm actually going to take a couple minutes to post the link so our members in there have access to this live stream. But okay, for those of you who are just joining on right now, I want to welcome you. My name is Auret, for those of you who are new here, and this right here is Jewel. We're founders of Essetino Media, and we are obsessed with helping you create profitable content. So in today's episode, we're actually going to talk about a workshop that we're doing that we're actually going to be able to create pieces of content together. So more on that later. We can start off by sharing our wins, and I'll just post the link in our Facebook group as well.
Yeah, have that banner. And while I'll start off with sharing some wins and answering some questions. So Braden was asking here, is it every other week now? Yeah, Braden, it's been going every other week for at least 4 episodes now, or maybe 5 episodes. I'm not sure. And you've been on them. So yeah, we've been doing on, off, that type of thing now. Just so that we can do really more concentrated, really cool shows for you guys. But I'll start off with sharing some of the wins. Literally last night, we got back from Yellowknife, Northwest Territories in Canada. If you don't know where that is, look it up, because it's a pretty crazy location. It's close to the Arctic Circle. Part of the Northwest Territories is in the Arctic Circle, and it's very cold up there. We went up there to see the northern lights, aka Aurora Borealis. Those crazy lights that you see in the sky that are like that weird phenomenon. We went up there to see the lights, and it was one of those bucket list, dream type of destinations, type of trips, and it was epic. And if you stay to the end, we have some actual footage that our tour guide took on one of the nights when we went. He calls it aurora hunting, because you really do need to hunt for it. It doesn't, just because you're there in Yellowknife, it doesn't appear in front of you every night. It can, but you actually need to look for it. And our tour guide was completely obsessed with the aurora borealis, and he knew, like, it wasn't like 100% accurate, but he knows where to go to find it. And it was such a treat to be with him for like 4 nights doing the aurora hunting. And this clip that we're going to show at the end is epic. I guarantee you most of you haven't seen something like this before. This is what we were seeing right up above us, and it's a very special piece of footage that we want to share with you guys at the end. So you have to stay till the end to see that cool thing. But basically, You know, a lot of people were asking, why were you in Yellowknife? Like such a weird location. It's a very, very small town, very small city. Even though it is in Canada, it's super small. The airport was a tiny building. We were there to see the Northern Lights, and it's one of those things where I saw a photo. I have always seen stock footage images on Adobe Stock and other places of the Northern Lights, and I would always say to myself, that would be cool to see. That would be cool to see one day, one day. And then eventually, back in like October, I was like, that would be cool to see. Why don't I go see it? And then I went down the rabbit hole and I just like instantly in that one moment like researched tours and trips and everything and just booked it pretty much on the spot. And I think it was an epic trip. We did ice fishing, snowmobiling, just going around the city. It was totally winter wonderland over there. At one
Dog
point,
sledding too.
dog sledding, yes, dog sledding, and it
So
was
fun.
-30. It was cold, very cold. I know a lot of people think, "Oh, you're from Canada, aren't you used to the cold?" It is not like it's first of all, everywhere in Canada is different with the weather, but it is arctically cold over there. And speaking of which, when I was over there, I was being advertised these cool trips going to Antarctica, and now I want to go to Antarctica because doing a trip like this made me want to do even more cool stuff, winter adventures like this. So, did you get
Yeah,
the links all posted?
I did. Yeah. So it's all posted up in our Facebook group. We're also live streaming to YouTube. Yeah, and that trip was incredible. We'll talk more about it later.
And share the clip. You guys want to see the
Yeah,
clip.
we'll share the clip for sure. I'm just going to head to the comments to say hello to some of you guys. So we have Roland in the house. Hey, Roland. And we already said hello to Brayden. How's
Hey,
it going?
Brayden.
Rye, hello, hello. Yeah, the pictures are incredible, but it's just the pictures also don't capture what the real eye sees as well. And it's like it looks different from the pictures versus being, seeing it in real life. The coolest part is seeing it move and like having it like it's almost like you see strings moving in the sky. It looks so cool.
You can't even compute what you're looking at. You're
No,
like, what is that? Like, is that really happening up above me right now? Like,
like from a
it was so
sci-fi
crazy.
movie or something. Braden says, I definitely missed a good idea though. My win is that my 3D printer came. Cool. I know you've been waiting for that.
Ooh,
Setting
nice.
it up tonight. Fun. You're going to have fun with that.
Keep us posted.
And you see them from Edmonton. Very cool. Twice in my backyard. Yeah. I mean, I could watch that all the time and not get tired of it. Our tour guide sees it every night. Like, during this season, he does these tours every single day, 7 days a week, every night, 9 p.m., like 9 p.m. to like 2:30 a.m.
Mm-hmm. You
And
get on this
different
bus.
every time.
His bus is called the Northern Lights Express, and it's like this decked out black bus with neon green, and you're like, okay, I'm going on the Northern Lights Express.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so cool. Hi, Tracy. How's it going?
Hey, Tracy.
Tracy's here too. And then Rye also said he saw them at 3 a.m. while driving to Saskatchewan. Yeah,
Nice.
I know. It's so cool. And I think that's when you see them, or at least that's what he was saying in Yellowknife. You can see them best when it's like late at night and when it's super, super cold. It's somehow it's brighter, right? You hope for a clear day. That's the only thing. Clouds are your enemy when it comes to that.
Yeah.
But let's get right into our topic today, guys. So today's topic is, I'm just creating a banner for it. Want to create content together.
Mm-hmm.
I'll talk a little bit about this in a second.
We've got a first time type of workshop event that we're going to be doing the first of, and we're going to test it out. And if you guys like it, and if you have some success with it, we're going to keep going with it.
Yes. So I'll tell you a little bit about how this came about too. So, um, I mean, through working with a lot of different clients, not just with YouTube, but in general as well, when it comes to creating content that promotes your brand, that gets you more visibility, that gets you, results essentially, whether that's like email opt-ins or getting a sale for a product or a service that you offer. There's always this kind of, with a lot of people, and for myself too in the past, I've seen there's this kind of like block with creating social content, especially when it comes to social media content. For some people, it's super easy to just throw up a post. But if you're someone who really, let's say, procrastinates with posting on social media, you should be posting more because you want to market yourself more, but you can't quite seem to get yourself to do it. Or maybe you overthink what would be a good post idea. I mean, like I've been there like so many times. Or you kind of like flying by the seat of your pants and just throwing something up, but you really want like a process, a simple and efficient process that you can plug into, and then every maybe once a month or so plug into that, and then you'll have social content for the next month or so. So I've, through testing different things that has helped me, I've put together this workshop for a few reasons. Number one, I think it's so much more powerful when you're creating content together in this kind of an environment, because you have that accountability. You have a set time and day in your schedule to hop in and create social content together, right? And number two, through that process, you'll be learning my strategy that I use with content buckets to create these pieces of content. So I'll show you the landing page here for it, and we can kind of scroll through. Just wanted to share this with you guys to see if anybody would be interested in attending. It's on December 14th, and I'll just share the screen here and we'll walk through it.
And how long is it?
It is a 3-hour workshop. So I'll share it here.
Oh, and just a side note, I forgot to say another not win, but announcement. For our channel for the month of December, I've had a backlog of a bunch of vlogs. So every Friday for December and maybe even January, there's going to be a vlog coming out. Last week was the canyoning vlog. This week is going to be when went to Antelope Canyon X in Arizona. And next week's going to be the helicopter one, and so on and so on. So it's going to be like if you want little mini movies and vlogs, every Friday we'll be doing a new vlog on the channel.
Oh, I can't wait to see those. I always love seeing the vlogs that you create. I mean, I'm part of the adventure, but it's like different to see it, and it's like I'm reliving it when I'm watching those vlogs. So that's awesome. All right, let me know if you guys can see this, because I can't see the chat right now at the same time. But so the whole outcome of this workshop is to create at least 12 pieces of content together. And I want these to be pieces of content that are strategic, meaning it's not just for the sake of posting. It's not about quantity. It's really about creating quality pieces that authentically connect with your audience, and also build authority in the process of it. Because we're going to talk about, what do you want to get out of your social content? What's the goal, right? And we work backwards from there. And there's 4 different content buckets, different types of content that you can create that builds authority, that gets results, that have this connection piece about where other people can start to really get to know you, and you're building trust. And that's the whole thing with, social media marketing. I think a lot of people forget that it's not just about posting. It's like there's a purpose and a reason to it. It's about ultimately creating a stronger connection with your audience and conversions, if that's something that that's a goal of yours, to make a sale or to get more people to watch your YouTube channel. It doesn't have to be about making a sale of a product or a service. It's just, what if you want, let's say, more people, more subscribers, or more people to watch your content, like that's the call to action, then you can use another social platform as well to enhance that and get more results from that. So
And just
yeah.
a side note,
Mm-hmm.
while we were in Yellowknife, we attended a webinar. We still do work when we're on these adventures, you guys.
Yeah.
It's like you know we. That's why I like making money online, is because you can be anywhere you want. And we even got a YouTube channel management client, like on another high-end client, while we were in Yellowknife. So that's like the beauty of having an online business and making money online. But anyways, we were on this webinar. We were actually on two webinars one of the days, and one of the speakers was talking about how like personal brand is so important. It's only getting more and more important, and whether you have one or you don't, that says your personal brand. You know, whether you if you don't post on social media at all, then it kind of then there's nothing for the person to configure about you. And so even if you, like Auret said, even if you don't have a product or service to sell, you can still have a personal brand. And when you do, and typically, you know, you end up having something to share or to not necessarily promote, but like just to share. You eventually have something to say when you're building your personal brand. And you know, this is what it's going to be all about in the workshop. We're super excited to do something like this. It's going to be super interactive, and limited spots. Limited spots.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is going to be a hands-on workshop. Like, we're limiting it to 25 spots because we want it to be personalized and interactive. You know, with a bigger group, it's hard to get that kind of personalization. So, yeah, we're really making sure it's just 25 spots available for this workshop, and less theory, more get it done type of stuff. So like, yes, you'll learn things along the way about setting clear content goals, getting clear on what you want, developing a content strategy, but then we're going to get right into let's create those pieces of content. So I'll be guiding you and walking you through. We're going to do it as a group together. And these pieces of content can be brainstormed for it could be Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, whatever you choose, even YouTube as well. But keep in mind, you won't be filming the YouTube videos in the content workshop. It's about, you know, creating captions and sourcing. We'll also talk about sourcing like the image associated with it if you're doing like Instagram, or you know, you want to tag along an image to it. So
What about TikTok or a lot of people?
TikTok, yeah. So when it comes to like the video piece, you won't be creating video content, but essentially what it is you're writing out the content piece. So it could be the caption piece, or if you're writing out, let's say you have in mind you want to do like TikTok or YouTube, you can write out the video script so that like after the workshop you could go and film it. So it starts off with the written piece because that's the message. That's ultimately the message. It's like, what's the purpose or the point of this post? We have to start there rather than just like, I have to just throw up a video or throw up an image. So we'll start with writing out these pieces of content. And then from there, we can figure out, you know, the asset of the image post, or again, you won't be filming videos during this, but you'll have these pieces of content ready to post. And I say ready to post because they could be written pieces of content, and also with images as well. In fact, you know, a lot of people, I'm seeing a lot of people now, I don't know if you've seen this on Instagram, Jewel, but like I'm seeing a lot of people posting text as image content. You know what I mean? Like they'll write like a note in their phone. I've seen StreamYard do this. They write a note, like it's essentially another caption, but in a note of like on the iPhone, take a photo of that, a screenshot, and that's the image for the post.
I see it on Facebook all the time, people doing text posts. They actually do quite well. And people people who tweet, they take a screenshot of their tweet and then they put it on Instagram or they put it on Facebook or whatever. But yeah, I think this is going to be super valuable for people because as we, you know, we deal with a lot of clients and students and stuff, and we're seeing like the pain points of, you know, when people do course creation or a YouTube channel or just, you know, doing social media. We're seeing people's pain points, and this is one of those pain points. And that's why we're trying to alleviate that pain by creating a workshop like this where you can attend and get, you know, 12 to 24 pieces of content in one go, batching basically. Essentially, this is going to be a batching session that we're going to do together, and we're going to make sure that you guys get stuff out of it, that you have pieces of content to actually post, because it doesn't make us feel good if you know, when people take when people, it happens all the time, when people purchase a course or they purchase something and then nothing happens with it. Like, it does not make me feel good, even though I get the money, but it doesn't make me, what makes me feel the most excited is when you guys take action and you guys actually do something and you get something out of it.
So this is very much like an action-oriented environment where, you know, by the end of it, you'll get it done. It's not like a to-do after the webinar. You know, you've learned a bunch of stuff, now it's to-do. No, it's like, it's to done. It's like, get it done, right? That was the whole idea behind this, is like, I want you to come out of this with work done, work completed, social content done for, let's say, the whole month of January, like completing all of it in that day, on that day, December 14th. And then we'll also have, you know, whether it's breakout rooms or just in the room in general, feedback. So you'll have the opportunity to share some of the posts, maybe maybe a post that you're not sure about, you want feedback on it, that kind of thing. I think that's invaluable as well. So this link, by the way, if you're watching from YouTube, the link to this page is in the description, and I'll pin it as a comment as well. But here you can see, yeah, go ahead, Jewel.
I was going to say, while you're pinning the comment and sharing it and stuff, I can answer this question that came in.
Sure, yeah, let's do it and we'll hop back onto this.
Okay, maybe put that question up on the screen. Thank you so much for the super sticker. Appreciate
thank you.
The donation there. And so the question is, how can you get around your channel being suppressed for political views on this website? Yeah, so I've seen a lot of channels who, you know, that it's YouTube's playground, right? And if you are going to be talking about that kind of stuff, then they will put what you can do is you need to use YouTube as kind of like a teaser for another website. So there's another website called Rumble. I'm sure you've heard of it. So what a lot of people do is Rumble is basically like an uncensored YouTube. You can talk about whatever you want on Rumble without getting censored at all. And so what you can do is do your video as usual over there, and then create like a teaser and a clip that is obviously you don't want to go over YouTube's policies or anything like that. So you got to make like a PG version basically, and you got to tease people, and it's like a trailer, and you got to tell them full episode on Rumble. That's what I would do. That's what I see people do who are in this space, who can't talk about like the full thing that they want to talk about. But thank you so much for your donation.
Yeah, thank you, John. Really appreciate that. And let us know where you're watching from as well. We'll just head and see some other comments as well. Yes, Braden, so that's actually one of the content categories we'll talk about is social proof is one aspect of it, but it could be like testimonials, reviews, or a win. Like a win is part of, you know, credibility, sharing progress, whether it's on your end or your client's progress or your audience or whoever you're working with, right? So that is definitely something we're going to be addressing in the workshop.
And I saw you posted the link.
How much
is it?
I pinned the comment there. So so let's head back then. So I'll show over here. So the workshop is $47, and for the whole 3 hours, $47.
Which is a steal, because we're going to be heavily involved and like.
Yeah, and we wanted to make it just super, you know, like a no-brainer for you guys, essentially. $47 investment and then getting, your content for a month's worth done in the workshop. But it's from 9 to 12 PST on December 14th. That's next week, next Thursday. And when you sign up, a Zoom link and all the information and stuff will be sent to you right away. If you're not able to attend, but you want the recording, meaning you want to see the process that we're doing, because it is a replicatable or replicable, depending on which country you're from.
Replicable.
It's a process that can be repeated. Let's just say that. And you can use it over and over again. So if you're not able to attend, then we just ask, don't reserve the spot, because it will take away one of the 25 spots from someone else who can attend. But you can click here when you come to this page, and you can purchase just the playback for $20, so that you can still have access to it. And yeah, so this, you can come in here and read some additional information if you want to learn more. But essentially, between now and the workshop date, we're going to be promoting this and, really just sharing this around. If you know somebody who can benefit from this as well, please do share it with them. I really want to get to all those people out there who are like struggling alone with like, I have to post on social media, but I'm procrastinating or overthinking it. And I want this to be like a positive, supportive environment in this workshop where we're just like creating together and, giving each other feedback and getting it done. Your social content is really how it's your way of controlling how people see you.
Yeah.
So if you're not doing it, like they're seeing what's not there, right? It's kind of a little bit like what you said, Jewel. It's like you're kind of, you have brand messaging, even though you don't know it. It's like, whether you're doing it or not, you're saying something or lack thereof. So here in this workshop, you'll learn about messaging. You'll learn about like, what to say and what types of posts to create to really build that authority, to create connections. And this is like authentic connections. This is not like, let's just throw whatever up there. So, so yeah, guys, the link is in the description. It's a pinned comment in on YouTube as well. And yeah, if you guys have any questions on this, feel free to post it in the comments as well.
Yeah,
and
we got a question and then a couple of comments.
Awesome.
Back to the Roland's comment.
Yes. Okay, Roland. Jill and Auret are doing something right. I see them daily here and there and everywhere. Try to be omnipresent. Even in my inbox, you're always at the top of my mind.
Yeah, if you guys noticed, we have been amping it up because, yeah, we do want to be omnipresent, top of mind. We want you guys to be thinking of us. If somebody recently, they just saw something and they're like, oh, and they have been watching us for so long, you guys. You never know how long someone's going to be watching you until they actually message you. And this person had been watching our stuff since 2010, and then I got a message. It's pretty crazy, and sometimes it's happens instantly. And again, it's creating what I like to call your street cred. It creates your credibility with whatever it is you're trying to do. And it doesn't have to be doing exactly what we're doing. You can do it in your own realm in whatever you're doing yourself. You don't even need to be an entrepreneur to do this. You can just share whatever it is that you like doing, or your hobbies, or whatever it is. It doesn't have to be so professional or whatever, because some people are like, oh, I can't do what you're doing. You don't have to do what we're doing. Do what you're doing. But here's a system on how to create quality content in a short amount of time. This is the whole thing.
Yeah.
This is like a batching live session, basically.
Yeah. And you don't need to, you don't need to be on all social platforms to, see the success and like try to be everywhere and that kind of thing. Like you guys know, we really just focused in on the one platform for the longest time, for years, YouTube, and just like recently starting to spread out into Instagram and these other forms. But in the workshop, we'll be focusing in on like, I want you to have a single platform in mind, like whether you want to focus or go all in on Instagram or YouTube or whatever, or Facebook. Focus on one platform, because when you have the one platform in mind, it's easier to create content that way as well, rather than trying to think of all the platforms. And from there, there's so many ways to repurpose, the content for that one platform onto other platforms as well, if that's something that you want to do, if that's what you have, if you have like time for that and resources. But yeah, you definitely don't need to be here, there, and everywhere. But yeah, we're trying to do more of that ourselves now that we have more team members, and we just love working together in our team, and just pushing our message strong in different ways, in any way that we can.
We have realized that in order to help more people, we need to become louder. We need to put more stuff out there, because it is. I mean, when some people think, oh, I put out a post and they think that's it. It's like, in this world, like, you gotta really push it. But like, I don't want to say, because some people are like, oh, well, I don't want to do like a Gary V and post 100 times per day. No, we're not posting 100 times per day. But yeah, it is important to get you out there, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, that's why we're just focusing here on, let's create 12 to 20 pieces of content. Like, at least at 12, you'll have 3 per week, right?
Or even 2 per week you can do.
Or
spread it out even more.
Whatever is like going to be the next step for you, or the next challenge for you. If you're not posting at all, it's just like super sporadic, then let's try to get 1 post a week consistently. If you're already doing that, 2, it's just like, be in competition with yourself, not like looking at everyone else, seeing what everyone else is doing, and then ending up not doing much to begin with, because it's just discouraging, right?
Yeah, we've got a question here from Roland.
All right. Would this strategy be helpful for my type of channels? So are you referring to YouTube, creating content for your YouTube channels, Roland?
He's talking about, like, how to fix it channel and all-terrain vehicle type channel. Like, would this work? Maybe not necessarily, because I know that Roland is quite active on Facebook as well, but maybe he's just talking about like the genre. Like, is this workshop genre specific?
Yeah, so it's not genre specific. It's creating types of posts, like character posts, proof posts, social proof posts, invitation posts, that kind of thing. When I say posts, you can, like, the medium can be different, whether it's creating a video out of that post, or an image or a text post. It's up to you. But we're going to be teaching the strategy for what types of content to post that builds authority, builds trust, builds connection, but not diving deep into details of like SEO or anything like that on any single platform, if that makes sense. So yeah, it could still be helpful for you, but we're not, diving deep into any one particular area. You could actually, Roland, you could use this for community posts on your channel, and some of this stuff as well. Like, if you're just focusing on YouTube, some of the posts as well can be repurposed as videos, but there'll be different types of videos from what you're already doing, because you already have the value piece down, meaning like the how-to tutorials, this is how you do it, the education piece. But there's these other categories of content that you can add in on your channel that will just build a stronger connection with people. So,
and also, I was just going to say, some of this stuff could be useful, Roland, because I know you're really going after the sponsorships right now. You really want to get sponsor deals and get those kind of connections going.
Yeah.
I can tell you, when because that's like, that's like a business transaction. When you are selling yourself, they're going to go onto your channel and they're going to see like what's going on, what's this person about. And some of these posts could really help. A lot of the times we mix it up with our content, and at any given moment, some stranger, some business person can go on our socials and get a feel for exactly what we're about, what's going on. They can get access to our courses. They can see all the stuff that we've told you many times that our social media sells ourself. Like our YouTube channel, my Instagram feed, the YouTube community tab, our website, it's all doing the selling for us, because by the time we get on the call, they already have seen everything, and they just want to make sure that we're real and that we're legit, and then that we can we do the transaction. And so yeah, there's definitely, you definitely do post on a consistent basis, but there's some other types of posts, as Auret was mentioning, that can be helpful, specifically with sponsors, for sure.
Yeah. And you could use this stuff more on your Facebook, Roland, because you do have a lot of people tuning into your Facebook as well. I know you do a lot of personal posts on there, but again, it's like you can mix in the other types of posts on Facebook, rather than just having personal posts on that one channel and then just having the how-to value stuff on YouTube. So yeah, let me know if that answers your question. Hello, Cheeks.
Hey,
Product Control is in the house. I wonder what I was saying here for Rye to say Read the Shark.
I don't know. What was that all about?
Let me know in the comments, Rye. Okay, Roland says, yes, that's what I want to do. Have posts help brands get to know me and build subscribers on both channels. Yeah.
Brands they're businesses, and they want to know, it's all a trust game here.
I was just going to say, like, that's what we're teaching you how to do with the social content. It just comes down to trust, building trust through those posts, through a variety.
They want to know that this guy, Roland, if he promotes our ATV or our jacket or whatever gear or accessory, they want to know that, it's going to, first of all, the product's going to be represented well, and that you can likely persuade and make sales for that product, item, service, right? And it's all just trust, right? Social media, basically, it's like you're either letting people distrust you with the stuff you post, or you're creating strong connection and trust.
Yeah. So that's, again, guys, there isn't a live stream happening next week, Thursday, but there is this workshop happening 9 a.m. to 12 p.m.
Yeah.
And yeah, you can catch you can get the playback as well if you can't attend.
And so we'll quickly recap here. So the date is
December 14th.
Okay, yeah, 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. 3 hours. This costs $47. Our goal is for you to get 12 to 24 pieces of content. So if you go 47, divide by 12 to 24, that's how much it's going to cost per piece of content. And when you create one really good piece of content, it's priceless. There's one, if you want to see some a very priceless post that I did on my Facebook. It's pinned up. It's pinned from a year ago, and it's like this long post that I wrote. And these posts don't have to be long, but I'm just saying, like, this is one of those quality type posts that creates instant credibility when people land on my profile. And still to this day, that post is old. It's like over a year old, but I still get comments and I still get likes, and it creates instant credibility whenever people land on my profile. So it's going to be a Zoom thing. It's going to be interactive participation with us. It's not just, us spitting theory at you and then you fall asleep. It's like you actually get stuff done. If you cannot attend, you can get the recording for like basically less than half the price, so that you don't take up one of the 25 spots, because ideally we want the 25 people to be there and to be able to attend.
Yeah.
And, so I think I wrapped it up. that it?
But if you can attend and you are interested, you'll want to head to that link to register and reserve your spot, because it's just 25 spots for
Yeah,
that.
we will be cutting it off because it is a lot to do more than that. Because I remember I did a live the Amazon influencer training with about 16 people or so, and it was like an intimate group, and you can get to everybody. So that's why we're capping it at 25. So
All
yeah,
right.
okay.
You want
Now
to switch gears?
yeah, so the link will be down in the description below.
Awesome.
And also pinned there in the live chat. Now, for those of you who stayed till the end, we're going to show you the epic video clip that we got of Aurora Borealis in the Yukon, Northwest Territories. This was at 2 nights ago. And I think it was before midnight. And it was only happening for like an hour. Here, it's playing right now. So started. Yeah, there you go. So this was happening right above our heads, and everybody was freaking out, and we're like, oh my God. And it was like just pure euphoria seeing this in the sky. This is actually what was happening. Nothing has been altered or CGI'd or anything. This is pure.
Fake. This wasn't stock footage. This is what
Yeah,
we see live.
this was pure Aurora Borealis happening before our eyes. It was this bright because we were in pitch black. Like we were in the middle of like a random highway. The thing is with our tour guide, his name was Julian from the Northern Lights tours in Yellowknife. He will drive anywhere and everywhere to catch the lights. So it could be on the side of a road randomly somewhere. It's not always in the same spot. You gotta like hunt for the aurora. And this was what was happening over our eyes. It was so crazy.
Yeah, and it's like you could see the green and the red. Sometimes we saw yellows and purples as well.
Yeah.
He says that red isn't typically something that you could see with the naked eye, but like a couple times, he was able to see it on a previous time. But
Yeah.
these little pieces of red here and the vibrancy of the green, I'm just answering your question here, Roland. It looks different. It's not this vibrant. You see the movement and the strings, and like it's like a faint.
I would
It's
say
like a cloud, like a very faint muted color.
I would
But
say that this is like so this is on the camera. I would say that it was 70% of
yeah,
the vibrant. It was quite it all depends on the moon as well, because the first night that we were there, the moon was quite bright, so the lights weren't as bright, but it was like going crazy in the sky. And this
yeah,
one right here, there was no moon around, so that's why it's much more vibrant here. And I remember, your neck hurts because you're just like looking up at the sky. And I was like, oh, I'm just gonna lay down. So I'm just like laying down in the middle of the highway with snow, and it was freezing -20, and I'm just laying down and I was just staring up at the sky just watching this thing. And it was there for about an hour, and then it was gone, and then that's it. And this is like there were literally people from all over the world in Yellowknife. Just there was people from China, lots of people from China, people from the UK, people from Australia, and they were just like here to see the lights, and it was just so amazing to see
it's also pretty cool how our tour guide. He's just so knowledgeable
the
in
lights.
what's about to happen with the lights. So yeah, every time when we would drive out, he would always be on the hunt for stars, because if you see stars, that means you have a clearing. Then
Mm-hmm.
the sky is somewhat clear enough to see aurora,
Mm-hmm.
and and so he'd like quickly stop and pull over and see, if we saw stars and that kind of thing. And we would look up at the sky, and then you could kind of see this very faint line in the sky. It was like almost like a really light cloud type of thing, a streak, like almost like if you were to look and look away, you wouldn't see it. It's just so faint. You'd have to really concentrate. And he's like, oh yeah, there's something happening there. And usually when it starts in the south side, that's when you know it's going to get brighter, because it moves from the south to the north. He said if you start seeing it in the north, then it's like almost like at the end, like it's dying out type of thing. But he's like, because it's starting there, we should stay here at this location because it's going to get really bright. And within like 15 minutes or so after he said that, it was just going crazy above us. This is actually what happened. So it was really cool.
All right. Sorry to interrupt. I do need to leave and quickly head out. So I don't know if you want to end it here or
yeah, we'll wrap it up. Yeah, we just wanted to share that this amazing, incredible footage with you guys. Yeah, Jewel, I know you have to head out.
Yeah.
I can end it.
Yeah. So Auret's gonna keep ending it. I will see you guys in the next 2 weeks. But if you want to go in the workshop, we'll see you next week.
Yes. Bye, Jewel. I'll just answer your question here, Roland. Did you find the experience created camaraderie with the other people on the tours? Yeah, absolutely. And no problem. I don't know if I'd be able to spell that word either. But yeah, so we actually met, there were people there from Israel, there were people from Indonesia, from different parts in Canada. And we connected. You actually, for some, because it's like a 3-day trip, or 3 nights rather, you see the same people, you kind of travel with the same people across those 3 nights. And sometimes in the other experiences too, if they signed up for dog sledding or snowmobiling. So yeah, we actually connected with these 2 girls from Toronto. We're connected now on Instagram and shared each other's pictures and stuff. So we were hanging out with them for a bit and talking to some other people. And yeah, it's like a fun social environment. And Julian, the tour guide, he really creates an experience out of it where he serves you hot chocolate and cookies in the middle of the night. And I haven't had so much hot chocolate like that for ages. That was like every night. It felt so good to drink that cup of Carnation's hot chocolate after it was like freezing, minus 28 weather, right? And your toes would get really, really cold. So I'd wear like 3 pairs of socks. But yeah, it was truly a one-of-a-kind experience. And I would love to go see it in Iceland. That would be really cool to just head over to the other part of the globe and see it from there and just see if it looks any different or how does it compare. And they have different experiences as well. Like you can watch them from these huts, or teepees rather, these tents, so that you're not always standing outside and you get cold. You can go in and out of these tents and warm up inside. When you get warmed up, you can come back outside and see if it's still there, type of thing. So it was really, really, really great. Yeah, I would highly recommend it. The Northern Lights tours in Yellowknife. Jojo, no worries. You can watch the replay, but happy that you popped in. Happy to see you. Yeah, we will be ending it shortly. Roland says, you experienced something crazy for the first time with other. Yeah, exactly. And for a lot of those people, it is. Actually, I would say for most people, maybe one other person I talked to said they saw it in, I think it was Iceland or some other location. But yeah, it's, I never knew that you could kind of see it like we can see it in Canada here, kind of in your own backyard. Like a 2-hour flight over to Yellowknife is not that long at all, at least from here, from Vancouver. Yeah, he really was a great host. Oh, okay. I saw a video where you can stay in a glass igloo and there's an alarm in the igloo and the lights appear. That's cool. That's really cool. Yeah, I wonder how it knows to sound. I guess somebody's watching it and then sounds the alarm, type of thing. Yeah, but super cool experience. There's more pictures on our socials as well, guys, if you haven't seen them. But we're going to wrap it up here. The link for the workshop, if you're interested, is in the description, YouTube description, as well as pinned in the comments. Or if you have any questions about it, feel free to message me. I'm happy to help. All right, guys. So see you next time. If you're joining us for the next live stream, it will be 2 weeks from now, which is December 21st. Otherwise, I'll see you next week. Bye for now, and have a good weekend.